welcome you all here today. Thank you for joining us. We are so excited to get to present to you today. And I have all of my fellow ambassadors with me. So you'll get to meet all of them. And we're going to show you a couple of places on campus. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the Q&A at the bottom of the screen. And we're also recording the presentation and it should be posted so that you can watch it at a later date if you would like to watch it again and go over the questions that we're going to answer at the end. So we will have a little bit of Q&A time towards the end of the presentation.
So we will go ahead and get started with our introductions of all of our student ambassadors, starting with myself, actually. Hello, everybody. My name is Jeanette. I am a fourth year here at CSU Channel Islands. I'm double majoring in Spanish and Chicanic Studies, also getting a certificate in healthcare interpretation. I'm originally from Garden Grove, California, so that's where I currently am at, but I have lived in housing while I was out there. And why I chose CI specifically was I wanted to be a little independent, get away from home, but I'm still close enough where I could come home and not feel really homesick. And we'll go ahead and get started with the rest of our ambassadors.
And then for me, my name is Lindsay. I am also a student ambassador in the admissions office. I am a fourth year student here at CI, so I'll be graduating at the end of next month along with Jeanette. And I'm a business major and a biology minor, and I'm from Camarillo, lived here literally since birth. So if you have any questions about Camarillo in general, if you've never been to Camarillo before, or I'm a commuter student, so I can answer any commuter student questions. And I chose Channel Islands because of the small student to faculty ratio, which is 22-1, and the community feel of the campus.
Hi everyone, my name is May and I am a fourth year nursing and health science student. So I'm in my first year of nursing, so my expected graduation date is spring 2023. I am from Oxnard, so that is about 15 minutes away from the campus if you're unfamiliar with the area. So I am also a commuter student, and I chose CI just because of the small and close-knit community that they have here, and everyone is so welcoming, and I highly suggest that you join our family.
Hello, my name is Ernest. I'm a fourth year biology major. My hometown is Los Angeles, and why I chose CI is I love the environment and I love the opportunities this school gives and this tiny environment and with lovely people.
Hi, my name is Scarlett. I am a second year here at CSU-CI. I am an ESRM major. ESRM stands for Environmental Science and Resource Management. And I chose CI because I wanted a really affordable college that was in a beautiful place. And I also wanted to be close enough to my hometown that my parents could visit, but not like every weekend, you know?
Hi everyone, my name is Ruby. I am a current, actually third year, not a second year anymore, but my current majors are anthropology and global studies with a minor in environmental science, ESRM. I'm originally from Walnut, California, so in the Los Angeles area, it takes me approximately 2 hours to get to school. So that's why I did live on campus my first 2 years. And for me, the reason why I chose Channel Islands, just like every other ambassador here, I think they've said is, that small tight-knit community that is really unique to Cal State Channel Islands, and I think was a really great opportunity for me to transition from that high school setting to college without feeling so pressured and stuff. So definitely glad to be here at CSU-CI.
What's up, guys? My name is Josh, and I'm a fourth year nursing student here at CSU Channel Islands. I'm also a nursing major, so it's my second year in the program. I have 1 more year to go after this. I'm from Bakersfield, California, and I chose CI because of the awesome nursing program that the school has to offer. And it's also located in a nice sweet spot where, I'm just about 2 hours away from home, and it's also, really close to a lot of the really nice cities down in Southern California. So I think that's really nice. And then also because of the community feel, like everybody else is saying, it's really a tight-knit community. And I feel like that, is really nice for students to come here for.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maya, and I'm currently a third-year student at Channel Islands, majoring in health science, and I'm minoring in psychology. My hometown is Victorville, California, so that's roughly 3 hours away from Camarillo, where the campus is located. So during the normal academic school year, I do reside on campus. I've lived in campus housing for 2 years. And as for why I chose CI was because of its small classroom sizes. I just felt like at my high school, we actually had small classroom sizes, so I felt like I would thrive better in that kind of environment. So, and it definitely has, and as well as its tight-knit community, like everyone else has mentioned.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kobe. I'm currently a third year here at CSUCI. I'm currently pursuing my degree in health science. I am from La Habra, California. So shout out to Orange County. And why I chose CI. I chose CSUCI for the beautiful scenery that I've seen all throughout the campus. Really, even when you're just walking to classes, you could see, the wild nature, and it's beautiful. But not only that, but the small classroom sizes as well.
Great. So if you all have any questions about us specifically, our housing experiences off campus, whatever the case may be, go ahead and drop them in the Q&A. But other than that, we will go ahead and get started with our virtual tour stops.
So before we actually go on campus and see the different resources and things we offer, we're actually going to go off campus. So we have 2 different off campus amenities. And this is going to be our Santa Rosa Island Research Station and our Channel Islands Boating Center. So I'm gonna start off with our research station, and our research station is actually on the Santa Rosa Island. So you do have to take a ferry out there. It's a wonderful and beautiful ride. The research station offers outdoor adventures. They offer overnight camping. So if you want to go with a couple friends, get a bunk room and kind of see the different wild nature on the island, that's always an option. If camping is not really your thing, you're not really with that, there is hiking day trips as well. So you get to go to the island. Not only do you get to learn about the beautiful scenery and the different wildlife that's on it, but you also get to hike around the island as well. Another thing that I like to talk about is actually the SURF program that is offered at the Santa Rosa Island Research Station, which is our Student Undergraduate Research Fellows program. So the SURF is a summer program for our CI students, aimed to provide intensive and meaningful research experiences, and it offers a stipend of $3,000. So I mean, who wouldn't want to go do that? You get to go on an island and meet cool people and get money. I mean, who wouldn't? So that is our Santa Rosa Island Research Station. And then we have our Channel Islands Boating Center. And our boating center offers waterfront programs, which is 100% free for students, as well as the research station. So we offer kayaking, we offer sailing, and stand-up paddleboarding. Luckily, I have actually been out there myself, and it's super, super awesome, super fun. When I was out there kayaking, you can actually see the sea lions and going underneath you. It was totally awesome. You get tour guides, so you're not stuck with the wolves. They don't throw you an oar and say, all right, good luck. You actually get a guide, a tour guide, so you're out there and they teach you everything you need to know. The stand-up paddleboarding was awesome as well, but my favorite has to be the sailing because it just felt so real. We were out there on the ocean, and with the tour guide, he'd say duck, and then we duck, and then they flip the sail, and he'd check his compass and check the night. It was like the whole thing going on. It was totally awesome. So once things open back up, I definitely can't wait to go back to the Channel Islands Boating Center, and once I have the opportunity to go back to the research station as well.
Next, we have the John Spore Broom Library, which I don't know about anyone else, but I personally spend a lot of time here when we were in person on campus. This is where I spent a majority of my time, and they just have a lot of student resources available. They have study rooms where you could either schedule to meet with people from your classes or your friends to do homework together. They also have 2 tutoring services, so the Writing and Multiliteracy Center, where they provide aid in writing. Unfortunately, they don't write your paper, but they do provide advice on how to structure it. If you have questions on a certain outline or specific formatting, they definitely help you with that, as well as provide mock oral presentations where you can go in, schedule a meeting, and just run through your presentation, and they can provide you feedback on how to, tips on how to better it, as well as our Learning Resource Center, where they provide free tutoring for students. So, and virtually all subjects. So it's just up to us, the students, to take advantage of those and utilize them. And then the library has computer use, printing use for students, and yeah, they just have so many things that there's just so many things to check out. I definitely recommend visiting, at least visiting, we also have a coffee shop as well, where it was actually turned 2 years ago into the only Starbucks on campus. So definitely a place to check out.
All right, so next up we have the town center, South Cove Bookstore. That town center is actually located right behind the library, and it's a really nice place, nice area as well. It has a couple of different eateries over there, such as Pizza Pie, as you can see at the top left. We have the pizza pie place, and then Tortillas Grill and Bar. There's also another Chinese food place. It's called Mom Wong's. It's all really good food. Awesome place to stay and to study. And then at the top, there's going to be student housing available there too. So yeah, the area is really nice. There's also another like a market where you could buy food, groceries, or anything like that. Yeah, so just a really nice place to hang out, study, or hang out with friends and stuff like that. They also have the Cove Bookstore, which you can get just about anything you need on campus as a student, or you could get CI swag over there. You get a lot of your merch, like clothes and stuff like that. You can also get, like I said, school supply like scantrons. Basically everything you need, it's over there. So like I said, it's a really nice spot, nice area. And if you're ever there, it's worth it to check out.
And our next stop here is going to be Bell Tower. So Bell Tower is kind of like one of those buildings where it's like a mix of everything. It's going to be like in the center of our campus. So for those of you who haven't visited our campus yet, I'll try and explain the best to my ability. But just imagine just like a lot of different resources and even classrooms inside of Bell Tower. So as you can see here, some of the pictures of our different resources and offices that Bell Tower has, and you could even scan that QR code right there to see some more student support services. So starting with the left-hand picture, we have our Career Center. So this is a great resource for our students here. You could get help on your resume and even just tips on interviewing. They could do mock interviews with you. So as a college student, we're all trying to get some jobs and everything. So I think this is one of those resources that you should definitely take advantage of. And our other one here is going to be our Veterans Affairs. So this is our offices. And I think one of the things that you might not suspect about our veterans services here is that they have our dog. His name is Doc, and you can actually walk him around campus. I've done it a few times with some of my friends. You could check him out. It's like about 15 minutes. So, it helps both the dog and you. So if you like need to just take a walk and you just want to hang out with a dog, you could totally do that. I know he is like a smeller, so he likes to smell like all of the flowers. So, just beware if you do decide to take Doc out. And last but not least, I'll just kind of explain really quick our EOP. I know Kobe is a part of our EOP program here. So that is one of our student support services in our Bell Tower as well as we have SSS and TRIO. I know Maya's a part of that as well. So, overall, all across the board, a lot of different offices and stuff in here. And when we go back to campus, you could definitely suspect to see a lot of familiar faces in here, especially during passing period and like during different times when like campus is packed, where you'll be like, oh, hey, like I've seen that face before. But Bell Tower, definitely a cool place on campus and one of like the main hubs for sure.
And now we've got Sierra Hall right here. Sierra Hall is the newest building on campus, but we have built it to blend in with the rest of our beautiful buildings that were already here. Sierra Hall has a lot of our STEM classes and labs. So you see in the two photos diagonally, you'll see a mechatronics lab and unidentifiable other lab, but they are doing their jobs, getting their studies in. And then something really awesome about Sierra Hall is you can see in that lower right-hand corner our secret rooftop garden. And this garden is planted with native plants that are friendly to our native pollinators. And it's also just a really great place to relax before your classes. Or if you've got a test, I really recommend studying before that test, but you can do it in a beautiful place on our Sierra Hall rooftop garden.
All right, next is the Recreation Center and Arroyo Hall. This is where we have our gym and our basketball court. A lot of things go on here. A lot of our intramural sports and a lot of our regular sports and club sports happen here. And recently, just before the pandemic, we had restocked and refurbished all of our equipment. So it's all new equipment, barely used. We have a lot of group classes, such as karate and Zumba. We have a lot of events. Like, for example, I used to do the dodgeball tournaments every month, and it was a blast. But also right next to it, we have the Arroyo Hall, which is where our Dolphin pantry is. So if somebody needs a little bit of a pick-me-up or is food insecure, you can go there and you can get some food, no charge at all. You just write down your name, sign in, completely anonymous, and they give you some food, and it runs perfectly. It's great.
And now we have our student union building. So it forms an L shape. So there's two sides of our student union building. Down on the bottom right, you can see a picture of an eatery that we have there, as well as one of our coffee shops. So we have our Freudian Sip and our Lighthouse Cafe, which serve some good grill foods. Beware of the freshman 15, because I was definitely a victim of that when I was there my freshman year. This is a place where most of our commuter students like to hang out, though it's not exclusive just to commuter students. It's just where they tend to frequent during their time on campus. I can speak firsthand. And we also have on the bottom left-hand corner, another picture, the other side of our student union building that has billiards tables, it has video games that you can rent out, a lot of more recreational kind of fun that you can have there. Our student union building is also an area that we hold a lot of our events. We have our coffee with the popo, so we get some coffee and get to know our campus police officers a bit more. I know we turned that quad area into an roller rink kind of fun place. We also have cornhole days. So it's a very lively area. You'll see a lot of students congregating around here. So it is a very busy place that you can meet with your friends.
Okay, I think Jeanette's answering questions, so I will do the South Quad slide. On South Quad, this is kind of the main area for students that live on campus. And so it's surrounded by two of our housing villages, which are Santa Rosa, which is for freshman students, and then Santa Cruz, which is for sophomore students. This is also where you can find our main cafeteria, which is Islands Cafe, or the CAF as everyone calls it. And it's kind of a buffet style eatery. They have pretty much everything that you could possibly want. I would definitely recommend their cookies. Their cookies are really, really good. And it's a one swipe system. So you go in and you swipe your card, and then you can stay for as much time as you want and eat as much food as you would like. So I know some people during finals week, when they have a lot of studying to do, they'll just swipe their card, go in and stay there for a few hours and eat while they study and just hang out, because it's a really, really pretty area. Additionally, there are a lot of events that are held in South Quad, whether it's for housing or not. You can see on the top left-hand corner, that is a club and orgs fair. So normally our club and orgs fair is held in South Quad or in front of the library. And so that's when all of the clubs on campus go out and they table, and you can find out more information about all of the clubs that we have to offer. And then you can see on the top right-hand corner, there's a doggy de-stress day. So we have those usually during Dead Week, which is the week before finals, just to kind of help us de-stress a little bit. I know there's movie nights that happen on South Quad all the time. There's been snow days where they haul snow out to South Quad, and you can have a snowball fight with your friends and all of that fun stuff. So it's a really, really great place. And there are constantly events happening, not only in South Quad, but throughout campus, because there's so many clubs and organizations that are hosting events for students. So I would definitely recommend once you're at CI to check out some of our events because there's usually free food. So, and nothing gets college students to do stuff like free food. And that is the end of our tour stops. So we wanted to thank you for joining us today and asking questions in the chat. So we will get to those questions in a minute, but we do have a survey for you all. So if you want to take out your cameras, you can actually scan the QR code on the screen through your camera application, and it will take you to a survey to tell us how we did. And then you will get a coupon for the CSU Channel Islands Cove Bookstore upon completing that survey, so that you can use that towards getting some CI swag so that you'll be all ready for when school starts in the fall. So I'll give you a second to scan that if you would like. And then Jeanette, do you want to read some of the questions?
So we have been answering questions as we go along, but if anybody would like to ask us additional questions, or if you want us to expand any of our answers, I know we had a question earlier about nursing, and May and Josh both have different experiences throughout that. So I don't know if May, you want to give your experience applying as a CI student and rather than Josh coming into CI.
Yeah, so as a CI student, I first came in as a pre-nursing major. So I just took all my prereqs it took me 2 years to complete my prereqs, and then I applied. However, the first time around, I did not get accepted, and I learned from my mistakes. So the second time around that I applied, I actually had my healthcare experience. So the first time I was only kind of betting on my high grades, but that didn't work out. So I knew that I had to have some healthcare experience just to show the nursing department that this is something that I'm interested in and I have experience, so I won't be completely in the dark once we go to the hospitals and into lab. I know I have some sort of idea of what I'm doing. So this program is highly impacted. There's about 500 plus seats, or 500 plus applicants, but we only have 50 seats available per year per cohort. So it's highly competitive. So if you are applying, or when you apply, make sure that you do have your high grades, do well in all your classes, and have that healthcare experience. And there's some other things within the application that you can add, such as having a second language or some military experience. They take that all into account as well.
Great, thank you. So specifically a question for Maya, how is the psychology program?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm minoring in psychology, so I'm still finishing up those courses. I'm not too sure if you had a specific question, but I can tell you a little bit of my experience so far. I personally have really enjoyed it. I am also a research assistant, so I'm specifically in the psychology department. So I am currently working on 2 projects in that, working closely with a professor. So I don't know if you're looking towards questions regarding that or just like an overall experience. But I have personally, for my 3 years that I've been here, I've enjoyed all the courses that I've taken, and all my professors have. I know other people at other universities who are like, oh, my professor was like horrible, like they don't respond to their emails, just things like that. And I've never come across anything like that. But if you had a specific question, go ahead and ask in the chat, please.
Great, thank you, Maya. And kind of following up with that, how is the ESRM program? I know we have a few student ambassadors that are involved in the program, if you all would like to share.
Well, I'm the resident ESRM major. So I recently did change my major to ESRM. I initially came in as a biology student, and I wasn't fully satisfied. There were things about biology I really, really loved, and then things that I didn't love as much. And then I realized ESRM had all of the stuff I loved. And so while I'm still sort of beginning my journey into ESRM, I have a whole bunch of classes that I'm very excited to do. There is a class dedicated to our national parks, so you can learn all about the parks services. There is also a class for survival skills for if some dramatic thing happens when you're on the field. So that'll be really fun to take. And then ESRM has a lot of opportunities. That Santa Rosa Island that Kobe was talking about, ESRM quite often goes out there. And then we also have a greenhouse on campus that is also often used by our ESRM majors. And so ESRM is really for us outdoorsy folk.
Yeah, and then just to add on, I'm ESRM minor. I've been about maybe a year. I can definitely say it's definitely like hands-on major. I think that's one of the things that I've missed being virtual is just the different events that they hold, like all across Ventura County. Of course, I'm not from there, so it's a great opportunity to get involved. And also a fun little story. I don't know if anyone's seen in the news recently about the hiker that was lost in the Los Angeles forest. I'm currently taking a GIS class, and it was actually my professor who found the missing hiker. So, you know, that's just a little shout out to my professor Quo, but, you know, that's just one of the skills that we learn. And it's funny because he's teaching the skills that he kind of used in that story. So definitely take GIS tracking, you know, you learn about all the different maps and stuff, but, you know, just a fun little shout out, fun little story.
Thank you all. I believe this is towards May. How do you get healthcare experience while in pre-nursing?
So there are a couple ways. You can volunteer at your local hospital. Some students I know got their CNA certificate while they were attending college. And there are nursing care homes that you can volunteer at as well. And if you are from the area, I'm not too sure, like Ventura County, there is this program called COPE Health Scholars, COPE Health Scholars. So it's kind of an internship kind of program run by UCLA. So it's not affiliated with our school, but is highly suggested because you kind of shadow different healthcare professionals within the hospital. You're somewhat as a CNA, but so you do have that patient hands-on experience care, but you rotate among different departments within the hospital. You can shadow not just nursing if you're interested in radiology, if you want to become a PA, if you want to be an occupational therapist or anything related to that, you can shadow any sort of healthcare professional that they have within the hospital, which is really cool. So you do have training, you do get a certificate at the end of the program. They do have different programs, but I can go on and on about COPE Health Scholars, but I highly suggest that you research more into that if you are a local.
Great, thank you. Give me 1 second. So are there any clubs any of you recommend on joining? There are definitely plenty of clubs on campus. I know a lot of us here are a part of some clubs. Myself specifically, I am a part of a sorority here on campus. And if any of you just kind of want to list it off, what clubs or organizations you all are a part of, we do have about 2 minutes left. So we are trying to answer as many of your questions as possible. Any of the ambassadors want to name out some of your clubs or orgs?
Yeah. So Ruby and I are a part of Gamma Beta Phi, which is a National Honor Society. So it's not a sorority or anything. It's a co-ed National Honor Society. And so those are a really good option if you're looking to get involved in volunteering in the area, because they're always telling us about, obviously right now they're giving us like online volunteering opportunities, which is really nice. So they've adapted to the current landscape of what we're doing. But normally they give you volunteer opportunities in the local area. So if you're interested in doing that and you're not maybe from Ventura County, so you don't know about all of the volunteering that you can do in the Ventura County area, they're always really up to date on that. And so you can get volunteer hours, you can win awards for volunteering the most. And it's just a good community and really, really nice people.
And also, I know that there's a lot of different clubs. For example, I'm an anthropology major as well. So there's anthropology club. And, I think that there's like sociology, just all across the board. Like there's a club for each major. So, you get to network and talk to your professors and even just other students that go to CSUCI. So you could kind of see and maybe have classes with them, and, just different networking stuff. So such a great opportunity is those types of clubs.
Would anyone else like to throw out any last minute things? I believe we are running short on time, but we will take one more question. No, okay. Let's see. For any of our commuter students out there, is it hard to find parking on campus? And then for the rest of you that are asking major specific questions, we will go ahead and start answering those via chat.
So for commuter students, it depends on what time you're going on campus. So from my experience, from like after 10 o'clock to about 1 p.m., it's not hard to find parking, but you won't find parking that's close. You're gonna have to walk, and the walk is 10 minutes. It's not that far, but we get picky because we're like, oh gosh, I have to walk 10 minutes over walking 5 minutes. That's so annoying. But the campus isn't that big, so it's really not that big of a deal. But if you want closer parking, I just recommend, if you're a morning person, sign up for morning classes. So if you have a class at 9 a.m., you're going to get good parking. Or if you have a class at 8 a.m., you're going to get good parking. If you get a job on campus and you have to start at like 8 or 9, you're also going to get good parking. So, but after 1 o'clock, it's actually pretty easy to find parking because the people that were there in the morning start to leave, and then they, there's good parking spots available because they came in the morning, and then you're coming at like 2:30 and you can find a much closer parking spot. So yeah, I don't know if May has any other tips.
You kind of summed it all up, Lindsay.
So just to wrap things up really quick, I know we are getting a lot of questions about parking on campus. Both commuters and housing students are able to have cars on campus. You do need a parking pass. I believe it's $195 per semester for both housing and commuters, nothing different. But other than that, we will be ending our session now. So thank you all for coming out today. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us via email, chat, live chat, phone, whatever the case may be. And please do not forget to also fill out that survey on the link that I had sent out a little earlier. You will be receiving a prize for coming out today. So we really appreciate you all for being here, and we hope to see you in the fall. All of you future Dolphins, have a good rest of your day.
Thank you for joining us.